every day. When you need a friend, here's what to say. Let's talk in English. 10 minutes every day. That's the way.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Let's Talk in English. My name is Esther.
And my name is Garrett. Today, we're back with another story lesson.
And our story is called Aesop's Fables. Well, we're actually talking about a group of stories. Yesterday, we had the story, The Tortoise and the Hare. And today, our story is called The Fox and the Grapes.
Exactly. Aesop's Fables are a collection of different fables or stories with a special lesson for us. So today's story is a new one.
Right. Yesterday, we talked about a very big animal called the tortoise. It looks like a turtle. The tortoise was in a race with a big rabbit called the hare.
Exactly. Now, in a race, we would all think the tortoise would lose. It's much slower than a hare, but the tortoise actually won.
Right. We learned slow and steady wins the race. Now let's go to today's Find It question. Our question is, why did the fox want the grapes?
Why did the fox want the grapes? Find the answer in our lesson. Now, here's Sonia with our keywords.
今天要讲狐狸与葡萄的故事。有一天，一只饥饿的狐狸正在森林里走着，到处找东西吃。A hungry fox was walking around the forest. 名词 fox 就是狐狸。他看到了又大又紫的葡萄，嘴里都开始流口水了。The fox's mouth watered. 名词 mouth 就是嘴。他跳起来想要摘葡萄，却没够到。He jumped up to reach them, but he missed. 动词 reach 就是伸手去抓或去碰。他不断地尝试，心里想着，我不会放弃的。I will not give up. 片语动词 give up 就是放弃。到后来他都累了，还是没够到葡萄。于是心里就想，这葡萄可能很酸，不吃也罢。Those grapes are probably sour. 形容词 sour 就是酸的。所以他最后还是放弃了。这就是吃不到葡萄，说葡萄酸吧。
The Fox and the Grapes. Once upon a time, a hungry fox was walking around the forest.
Where can I find something to eat?
He thought. As he was walking, he saw some big purple grapes. They were hanging from a vine. The vine was growing high up in a tree. The grapes looked delicious, and the fox's mouth watered.
I want those grapes,
the fox thought.
So our story begins. Once upon a time, a fox, a very hungry one, was walking around the forest.
A fox is a kind of animal. I know you can find lots of them in England, maybe some other places too. They look kind of like a small dog, and they're sort of reddish in color.
Right. Foxes can jump high, and they like to eat meat and fruit. Now, this fox was walking around the forest. Sonia, can you help us with how to use this word around?
很久很久以前，一只饥饿的狐狸正在森林里到处走。Once upon a time, a hungry fox was walking around the forest. 介系词 around 在这里表示到处、四处的意思。常见用法是动 动词加 around 加名词。来看例句 ：The kids are running around the house. 这些小孩在房子里到处跑。或是 Would you like to look around the studio? 你要在工作室里到处看看吗？再一句 Let's ask around for directions. 我们四处打听一下该怎么走。
Thank you, Sonia. Well, this hungry fox wants to find some food to eat.
Yeah, but where can the fox go? Well, as the fox was walking, he saw some big purple grapes. Grapes are a wonderful fruit. You get a big thing of grapes with lots of small grapes you can pick off.
Right. Grapes are often purple. They can also be green or even light, almost like a white color. And these grapes were hanging from a vine.
A vine is the kind of plant that grapes grow on. It's long and thin. Now, the vine was growing high up in a tree.
But foxes walk on the ground with their 4 legs. Friends, did you find the answer to our Find It question? Our question was, why did the fox want the grapes?
He was hungry, and they looked delicious. So the fox's mouth watered. This is your mouth. When you're hungry, there might be lots of water or saliva in there.
Right, and when you are talking, words come out from your mouth. Now this fox thought, I want those grapes. Now this sound, people make is when something sounds good or tastes good.
Exactly. Let's go to the next part of our story.
He jumped up to reach them, but he missed. Then he jumped again and again, but he could not reach the grapes.
I will not give up.
He backed up, ran fast, and jumped into the air. But he still could not reach the grapes. With each jump, the fox grew more tired and upset. Finally, he sat down and looked up at the grapes.
Now this fox jumps up and tries to reach the grapes. When you reach something, it means you try to go for it.
You try to grab it, but the fox missed the grapes. He did not catch them in his mouth. So the fox jumped again and again, but it didn't work.
Right. He just couldn't jump high enough, and probably the grapes were growing too high. But the fox tells himself, I will not give up.
When you give up, you stop trying at something. Maybe you feel it's too hard, or you don't think you can do it.
So what does the fox do? He backs up, and then he runs very fast, and he jumps into the air again. When you back up, it means you move your body in the other direction, so it goes back.
The opposite of that would be to go forward. Go forward and back up.
But this fox still could not reach the grapes. As he was jumping, the fox grew or became more tired and upset.
Exactly. Hey, there's that word grew again. Yes, the fox was more and more tired, so he's probably not jumping as high as the first time.
Right. And when you're upset, it means you're a little angry and you're not happy about what is happening.
He really wanted those grapes. Well, finally, the fox sat down and looked up at the grapes.
What is he going to do? Will he continue to jump and reach for the grapes, or will he give up?
Let's find out in just a minute after this break. We'll be right back.
Let's talk in English.
ever really wanted something or wanted to reach a goal, but you just couldn't do it or reach your goal? How did you feel?
You might feel upset or frustrated. When I was in high school, I really wanted to be on the baseball team. But after trying out 2 times, I still couldn't make it. That's okay. I found other sports that I enjoyed.
Right. I hope the fox will be okay. Let's continue our story and see what the fox does.
You know, those grapes are probably sour. I don't really want them.
He turned and walked away. The fox really wanted the grapes, but he couldn't get them. So he tried to make himself feel better.
I don't really want those sour grapes.
He kept telling himself. Sometimes we want things, but if we can't have them, we no longer want them, and we think bad things about them.
Friends, remember this fox has been jumping and reaching for those grapes, but he hasn't been able to get them.
Yeah, and I think the fox wants to make himself feel better. He wants to say, those grapes are no good anyway. They're probably sour.
If something is sour, it means when you taste it, it tastes, well, like what lemons taste like. Lemons are often sour.
Yeah, many fruits are often sour. They don't always taste the best, though some of us like sour flavors. Well, the fox says, I don't really want them. And friends, that's today's calendar phrase.
I don't really want them.
I don't really want them. 我不太想要。
Do you want potatoes?
No, thanks. I don't really want them.
Do you want tomatoes?
No, thanks. I don't really want them.
Do you want carrots?
No, thanks. I don't really want them.
How about cookies?
Yes, please. I really want them. I love cookies.
Of course you do.
Yay.
I don't really want them.
I don't really want them. 我不太想要。
Right, the fox wants to tell himself that he doesn't really want the grapes. But he really did want the grapes because he tried again and again to reach them.
Yeah, sounds like he's just trying to make himself feel better. He says, I don't really want those sour grapes. He keeps telling this to himself.
Right. This word keep means you do something again and again. Sonia, can you help us with this?
故事继续，狐狸因为够不到，就一再对自己说：“我其实不想要那些酸葡萄。” I don't really want those sour grapes, he kept telling himself. 动词 keep 表示持续不断，它的动词三态是 keep, kept, kept。常见用法Keep doing something 表示持续一直做某件事。我们来看例句 Why do you keep asking me the same question? 你为什么一直问我相同的问题？或是 Henry kept talking during math class. Henry 在数学课一直讲话。再一句Keep trying, don't give up. 继续努力，不要放弃。
Thank you, Sonia. Well, this story seems to have a moral or a lesson that we can learn. Sometimes we want things, but if we can't have them, we no longer want them. And people sometimes think bad things about them.
Yeah, maybe that can be helpful. It can help you to move on and stop thinking about those things too much.
Right. But you know, the fox could have said, those grapes are too high. I couldn't reach them. Instead of thinking that those grapes were sour.
or maybe look for a friend to help out.
That's a great idea. Now let's go and review today's keywords.
Here's your first keyword for today. Fox. Fox. Did you see the fox under the tree?
Mouth. Mouth. The baby put his hand in his mouth.
Reach. Reach. The shelf is too high. I can't reach it.
Give up. Give up. Don't give up. Keep trying.
Sour. Sour. I don't like sour fruit. Friends, those are your keywords for today. You're doing a great job.
And now it's your turn.
Today's keywords are fox, mouth, reach, give up, and sour. Now it's your turn to use them in a sentence. First one, put all the candy in your... Correct. Put all the candy in your mouth. Next, this drink is very... Good job. This drink is very sour. Next, you're almost there. You can't... Great job. You're almost there. You can't give up. Next, the has a big tail. You're right. The fox has a big tail. Last one. Can you? Those books? Good job. Can you reach those books? That was fun. Will you come again for your turn?
The Fox and the Grapes. Once upon a time, a hungry fox was walking around the forest.
Where can I find something to eat?
He thought. As he was walking, he saw some big purple grapes. They were hanging from a vine. The vine was growing high up in a tree. The grapes looked delicious, and the fox's mouth watered.
I want those grapes,
the fox thought. He jumped up to reach them, but he missed. Then he jumped again, and again, but he could not reach the grapes.
I will not give up.
He backed up, ran fast, and jumped into the air. But he still could not reach the grapes. With each jump, the fox grew more tired and upset. Finally, he sat down and looked up at the grapes.
You know, those grapes are probably sour. I don't really want them.
He turned and walked away. The fox really wanted the grapes, but he couldn't get them. So he tried to make himself feel better.
I don't really want those sour grapes,
he kept telling himself. Sometimes we want things, but if we can't have them, we no longer want them, and we think bad things about them.
1, 2, let's review. How do you feel about today's story, David?
I feel bad for the fox.
Me too. He was hungry. His mouth was watering.
And the grapes looked so delicious.
But he couldn't reach them. They were too high up for the fox to reach.
Poor fox. In the end, he told himself those grapes are probably sour.
And he walked away. But that probably wasn't true. The fox only said that to make himself feel better.
I agree. If you were the fox, Hazel, how would you make yourself feel better?
I would look on the bright side. Maybe I can find a ladder and come back later.
Good thinking. Then you can share the grapes with me.
Maybe. So, friends, remember to look on the bright side and enjoy your day.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a brand new year. Get ready, get set, go. Time to make a resolution. Leave behind your past and failures. Don't live a life of regret. It's time for a change. You can do much better. A new start, a new year, a new hope and a new adventure. Capture each moment and make the most of every day. Get up now. Time to move ahead. Look forward to the future that is in God's hands. Have the will to try. Keep your hopes up high. It's a great beginning of a brand new year. One more time. Time to make a resolution. Leave behind your past and failures. Don't live a life of regret. It's time for a change. You can do much better. A new start, a new year, a new hope and a new adventure. Capture each moment and make the most of every day. Time to move ahead. Time to move ahead. Look forward to the future that is in God's hands. Have the will to try. Keep your hopes up high. It's the great beginning. Time to move ahead. Look forward to the future that is in God's hands. Have the will to try. Keep your hopes up high. It's the great beginning of a brand new year.
You know, in today's story, the fox couldn't reach the grapes. He got upset and he said the grapes were sour. But Garrett, you said that maybe he could ask a friend for help. That's a great idea.
Right. Sometimes we're not able to do something on our own, even though we really want to. It's okay to ask for help, though.
I wonder if the fox asked a friend for help. Maybe his friend the bird or another animal, maybe he could have gotten those grapes, and then he would have probably said that they were sweet and not sour.
Yeah, maybe if it were real animals, though, the fox would eat those animals.
True. Friends, did you enjoy today's story? Aesop has many more fables or stories that you can read.
Enjoy them and join us again tomorrow, right here on Let's Talk in English. Goodbye.
Bye.